Hello, we're the Chris's, and we are going to try to explain what we do for our EDS with our U-shaped pregnancy pillow with the help of our Cabbage Patch doll. So, the problem, we were side sleeping, so we would sleep completely on our side, and what would happen is the bottom shoulder, so turn, thank you. The bottom shoulder was coming out of the joint. We were about as floppy as this doll, right? With very little muscles to support staying in joint, but the weight of our body would cause that to separate, and our shoulder would come out of the socket, and we would get tendon damage, which resulted in frozen shoulder. And now it becomes very hard to side sleep because it's continuing. Every time you relax enough, the only thing that's holding the shoulder joint in is the muscle tension, and now the shoulder's coming out of the socket while you're laying on it, and that sucks, right? So we had to figure out a way to not sleep on that shoulder. So we'll set you aside for a moment. You can stay over there. We got a U-shaped pregnancy pillow. So it's a big U, not like the towel, where we're bending it, but it was actually a U. And we got a U-shaped pregnancy pillow to try and solve this. How do we get our shoulder off the mattress? And for us, laying on our back isn't possible either, and we'll show why with our Cabbage Patch doll's help. You see, there's a few issues here. One is the knees. We can put them up on pillows, right, to keep the knees bent, but otherwise the knees bend backwards. And the other problem is the SI joint back here. The pelvic joint is actually three parts. One's the part with the tailbone, this like triangle in the middle here that has the tailbone, or the tail for this little Cabbage Patch doll is on that little triangle, and then there's the two side hip parts of the pelvis, right? So what happens is, if again we don't have really strong cartilage between these three parts, also having been pregnant in the past, so our SI joint has a tendency to spread and separate. And so the problem is, if we're laying on our tailbone, we're laying on that back plate, then the side plates will kind of separate out, and we'll end up with subluxations back here, and it just results in all kinds of pain trying to walk and stand and sit and stuff like that. So that's not ideal either. So laying flat doesn't work for us either, because all of that gets messed up. Even if we put our feet up so that our knees don't bend backwards, it actually increases the pressure back here, which then makes it even worse, actually. Like, even laying on our back for a massage, for anything, for a short length of time results in a lot of significant pain getting up and moving around. So sleeping that way for 8 hours is not happening, right? Okay, so here we are. We've got our U-shaped pregnancy pillow, and we're going to use these little face cloths to represent pillows, because it is also necessary to show all of our pillow placements. So all the different colors, forgive the stains, because these are used for cleaning, not for faces. But we have all of our pillows. Lots and lots of pillows. We've got 4 pillows ready to show all of our things. And I need like a marker or something. That's fine, a marker. Whatever. Highlighter pen or something. Okay. So here is how we lay. Now, if this is 0 degrees and laying completely on our side is 90 degrees, what we do, we put our head up over here, what we do is we actually lay 45 degrees. This kind of back here, we end up with our back half on the back end of the body pillow. So still we have this side of our body against the bed itself, right? But now that we're laying at this weird 45-degree angle, our shoulder is no longer taking the weight of our body. It's actually this part of our back here that's taking some of the weight, and the rest is distributed down this side of our body on the pillow behind us, right? So now the weight is distributed along our back, on our scapula, across our spine on the pillow, and across the other side of our back. So all of our weight is half on the pillow and half on the bed. And now the only issue, well, we'll talk about how the feet part of this works too. The only issue up here is keeping the spine aligned. Our head will tend to go to that 90-degree angle, right? So what we do is when we have our pillow under our head, we have one pillow. Doing this with one hand and holding the camera. All right, we have one pillow under our head. And what we'll do is we'll take a bolster pillow, like a round pillow, or one of these kind of neck pillows. Okay, we're a lot bigger than the Cabbage Patch dolls. So we made those neck pillows, those bone-shaped, like triangular weird pillows. We made these, but you can get like a pool noodle kind of thing or something to put under your head. But so we insert a pillow right in front of our face. Just, you see how that tilts up? So we have a pillow right underneath our pillow, just tucked underneath there, just to hold under our chin and our cheek up a little bit so that we're actually not sideways completely, that it's in alignment with our spine. So our face is also at a 45-degree angle along with our spine. Our whole body is facing about 45 degrees. And then under here, we are kind of nutters, but we have two pillows completing the nest down under our legs. Right, so both of our legs are on top of here, able to be bent and stuff, so our knees are not stressed, and that's helping to keep our pelvis tilted up. We also bring this on top of those pillows. See how nice and 45-degree angle our little stuffy is getting here, all cuddled up here. And then we pull this one up to help also. It's all nice and cuddled in there. Pull this one up a little bit. Anyway. But anyway, so like, the amount we need to, because we are kind of zoftig and have big baby bearing hips. So we need a lot of leg support here and a lot of butt support and so on to keep all of our joints done. Okay, we'll put you in a moment. Get that up there. And these two things up here under our knees would be here. Our feet are kind of dangling in the middle. So our knees go up and then down again. So our ankles are hanging out around here somewhere. And then our pelvis is on this kind of like incline here. And that kind of just helps to extra support our SI joint. So we have this whole ritual of getting ourselves into this position and tucking all the things. See how that arm is kind of extending out here? Instead of it being completely tucked under, that arm is now free. The back is along here. The knees are up on our pillows. with that little bit of extra lift to help keep our body at that angle. It's just a whole big thing. And if we need to turn around, we are already mostly there anyway. We just gotta pull. You often have to pull the back up, and now that shoulder's free. Pull this up and have the thing for our knees on the other side, and so on. Sometimes we do actually have this arm laying on the back of this behind us too. So sometimes our arm is here, sometimes our arm is there. So, you know, we got like arm extension area to put it wherever it's comfy. And this one's usually with the elbow tucked under there, and you know, the hand maybe underneath the pillow, nice and comfy, and our knees bent. Can't show that here. Bent and up on the pillows here. So this is our little nest that we sleep in, and we always have a head pillow. We have lots of sensitivity to light. We have a very, actually, much thinner pillow, like that. And our blankets and stuff. Blankets. And all cozy, and Z's. Lots of Z's. But that's basically how we tuck ourselves in so that our body is supported nicely and our pelvis is supported on the thing. It's hard to show with a doll, what can I say? But anyway, that's what I wanted to show folks. Say bye.